Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first of a series of videos we're doing where we're going to be talking to various speakers that are going to be at the event and just learning a little bit more about them, their background, what they're going to be speaking about, and their thoughts on the event and what they hope the event will look like. Today I'm joined by Lambda, who you will all know as the austere religious scholar, the the man who does Bible studies. It's Lambda.
It's me.
Yes,
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm really looking forward to the event.
Excellent.
I think it's going to be awesome.
As as everyone should be. Everyone should be excited,
Yeah.
of course. Yes. So yeah, I'll just give you a couple minutes. And do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
Sure.
What do you do? What your interests? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Lambda. And like a lot of people in our circles, I'm really into economics and elite theory and all of that good stuff. Of late, I've developed a reputation for having esoteric views on the subject of intellectual property. But really, my unique selling point, the thing that I contribute the most, is I run a YouTube channel called Lambda Bible Studies, which has had a surprising roster of guests, people who you might be familiar with from Academic Agents channel. And we're there to discuss the Bible and Christian stuff. Not everyone who comes on the channel is Christian, and we're open to all kinds of perspectives as long as people are respectful. But yes, I think I was called recently one of the holy boys of the channel. I'm bringing a Christian perspective to a lot of this stuff.
Obviously, you're going to be at the event. You're going to be giving a talk. Can you give us a brief description of the areas you're going to be covering? No spoilers, of course.
Yeah, so on brand, my talk is going to be around the Bible, and I'm connecting it to two things that are near and dear to the hearts of anybody coming to the event, I think. Austrian economics and elite theory. So my contention is that the Bible actually supports and even discovers and kicks off many of the economic truths that we hold so dear. You'll want to listen to my talk if you don't know the following. Who were the scholars of Salamanca? What is the Matthew principle? And how did Jesus' parables teach you sound economic wisdom? Some people will claim there are verses about Christians sharing everything in common and make terrible claims such as that Christianity is actually the source of a lot of awful progressivism. So I'm going to be putting all of those arguments to rest once and for good. And once you've heard my talk, no longer will you be misguided, and you will realize how truly based Christianity is in an economic perspective.
So obviously, you were approached to give a talk, and you've agreed to do one. Can I ask why? What is it you want to get out of this event? Why have you agreed to come along?
Yeah, I didn't really need to have my arm twisted. I was very keen. As soon as I heard about the idea, I was jumping at the chance to come along. I dashed down to the ticket office and picked myself up a ticket. I'm really excited about this. I think it's become very obvious over the last year how important it is to meet people physically in person. As human beings, we can't really exist as virtual beings on the internet. There's a limit to how far that can go. And as a community, we are, for a start, I really like a lot of the people who I've connected with online, and I'm really excited just to make a personal acquaintance. I also think the ideas we're discussing are really important, and I think a lot of fruitful conversations will come out of this time that we spend together, both from the talks. I want to hear what other people's talks will contain, but also just from chatting. I think it's going to be really big. I think such a smart move to put this event on. I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'd like to touch on something you said there. That is it's the significance of doing an event in person that will capture something you really can't get when you're just doing it online. And you'd run your Bible studies, and it's lovely to because we're able to have people from all around the world. We're able to sit together,
Hmm.
and we even had cameras on, and we're able to talk. But it just doesn't quite feel the same as when you're there in person and able to see a real flesh and blood human being. And there's something very significant about that.
Yeah. I always used to be the most optimistic person about technology. I thought we can engineer our way out of anything. And I've really been humbled in the last year in particular to realize that we're such a long way off. In fact, I'd go so far as to say is it is not possible to use technology to replicate what we can have in person. We're fundamentally, we are biological, embodied creatures that need to be face to face. That there's a whole component of our existence that is not fooled, although we think that we've tricked ourselves into thinking we're making face to face acquaintances because we've got the videos and it kind of looks like you're looking at someone and talking to them, but you just can't replicate that. You can never get close to a real encounter face to face. I think it's quite inhuman to live your life apart. So I think it's very important if you possibly can. I made, actually, even before the lockdown, I made quite an effort to meet up with people in person. So this is not completely news to me, but it really underlined it in the last year. So yes, I think I think especially having done a few meetups with people from this community before the lockdown, it did make me feel more plugged in and connected. And you feel even more than ever that these are actual human beings, as well as wonderful contributors to our generic community in this modern sense. Like there's an actual personal connection once you can be face to face.
It's so much more wonderful to see someone's face and call them by their actual name rather than just staring at Pepe the Frog across the screen. Yes, there's something that is very significant about that.
And the little interpersonal connections you make, the body language, the warmth of actual human contact, it's very, very important.
Yes, and so obviously you've been involved in basket weaving and met up with people that way. And this event, in some ways, has spawned because of basket weaving. And is that right? It's very nice to have these small local meetups. And I've been to a few myself and organised and met various people in the community. But it's good to have one big thing that everyone can focus on, where we can have people who from all over coming in for this. Unfortunately, we can't have people from outside the UK this year, but hopefully going forward we'll be able to. And it's just...
I was suggesting that we hire like a helicopter and fly around the US and just pick them all up. We could interrogate them in the middle of the Atlantic as well and see if they're really as based as they claim.
I have a sneaking suspicion our budget won't stretch quite that far. Unless we have any...
It will if enough people sign up.
Yes, unless we get a couple 100,000, maybe. We could afford to do that. So if there are any billionaires watching that would happen to want to support our conference...
with one sizable donation, then we could even have Charlemagne.
Yes. We could have Charlemagne. We could even get Radlib. We could even get all of Radlib's children.
Oh, imagine.
Across. If you donate today
Think of
to
the
get
children.
Radlib's children across.
Do you want Radlib's children to cry because they can't make it to the event?
You're a horrible person. Exactly.
You're a horrible billionaire, whoever it is who's listening.
I don't think this is the best way to sell tickets, though. Probably shouldn't call our audience horrible people.
Well, I'll let you decide whether you keep this in the edit or not.
Oh, this is staying in. This is staying in.
One of the things that I think's exciting about just spending a solid amount of time with this bunch of people is that there's going to be moments of spontaneity, random conversations that you wouldn't expect. There's going to be connections made which wouldn't have been made any other way. I'm just really curious. I love doing new things. What's a day going to hold? I imagine that there'll be blocked out time for the talks when everybody's looking forwards and receiving the same ideas. And then what's will be really interesting is people can go straight away and start discussing what they've just heard and really digesting it as a community. And then there's going to be, of course, the meals. And what a wonderful opportunity to actually bond with people than sitting down over a meal and chatting, not just about the ideas, but also about other things like how's your life going? How's your job? How's your family? That richer idea of who we all are and the breadth of experiences we've had and where are ideas coming from. It's going to be so much richer, the experience of going to this event versus just watching sporadic random YouTube videos. So I think it's going to be great.
I hope everyone else agrees with you on those points about the importance of meeting up in person and is just as excited to do it as we are. Because hey, if at least no one else is there, at least I'm going to get to meet you. So, there's always
True.
that.
And I tell you, if you come to the event, I'll tell you my actual name, which is not Lambda.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
If there's anything you would like to shill before we wrap up, now is your opportunity.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I mostly just want people to come to the event. I want to meet you guys. What if you've never heard of my Bible study channel, then, drop by. Why not even suggest a topic? Is there a chapter of the Bible that's always had your head scratching and you're like, I don't know, I can't make heads or tails of this. We'll tackle it. But otherwise, no. Just you have to do action commitments, Reen. You've got to say, drop what you're doing right now and go and buy a ticket.
Yes, exactly.
You've got to be kind of commanding and authoritative.
Buy a ticket now. Yes, you.
Yes,
I'm talking
do it
to
now.
you, right? Yes, the person who's listening to this.
Richard.
Yes,
Sally.
Steve.
I've got one question for the listener. Why are they listening to my voice but not buying a ticket at this very moment?
I think
I can't explain it.
I think that's enough selling them. There we go. Enough shilling. That's it. Anyway.
All right, but if they don't want to come, then that's fine.
You can just stay at home and be a loner. Yeah.
Yeah. Loser.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this conversation here, Lambda. I hope everyone who has listened now knows a little bit more about you, about what you're going to be talking about, and of course about the event itself. And hopefully, everyone listening, we will see you at the event, and you'll see us, and it will all be fun. But that is everything. I will be doing more of these talks with some of the other speakers.
Can't wait.
Won't be saying who yet. Won't give any spoilers away. But that is all for now. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.